Hello there, I'm Jim Rodwell, and I'm a volunteer here in Matanzas Pass Preserve, located on Fort Myers Beach. When I'm not volunteering here in the preserve, I like to come out with my camera to different plant communities here in the preserve and take pictures of wildflowers. Today, I'm here in one of the preserve's maritime hammocks taking pictures of wildflowers. And by the way, I do have some pictures right now that I'd like to share with you. So let's take a look.
The scorpion tail, Heliotropium angiospermum, is a long-lived perennial shrub that grows to 3 feet in height. The tiny white flowers grow from terminal spikes at the tips of the stems. Up to 10 and possibly more flowers bloom in 2 ranks. The spike tends to curl under, which gives an appearance of the tail of a scorpion. The flowering tail is about 1 inch in length. The flowers are at best 1/4 inch in diameter with 5 petals, 5 male stamens wrapped around a single female style. You will probably need a hand lens to best see this flower. The butterfly orchid, Encyclia tamponus, is a herbaceous perennial plant that is also an epiphyte. The butterfly is attached to a tree by a layer of dark green or red pseudobulbs that are held in place by sprawling white roots. Grass-like leaves 4 to 12 inches in length and 1/2 to 3/4 inch in width grow from the pseudobulbs. Long and drooping flower stalks also grow from the pseudobulbs, reaching in length of up to 3 feet. Between 1 to 4 flowers grow at the tips of the stalks. The flowers are 1/2 to 3/4 inch in diameter and are colored light green to dark brown in color. The snowberry, Chalcoca alba, is a climbing vine-like shrub with multiple stems. It can be found growing as a ground cover or climbing over other plants and shrubs. Snowberry has showy yellow bell-shaped flowers that hang in 2 ranks like a necklace on the shrub. The tiny flowers have 5 petals that face downwards and can bloom all year. The fruit of the snowberry is a small bright white drupe that resembles a snowball. When the drupe is held between the fingers, it tends to deteriorate like melting snow. Perhaps this is how it got its name. The rouge plant, Riviana humulus, got its name from the clusters of tiny scarlet red berries that are barely 3/16 of an inch in diameter. The plant itself is a herbaceous ground cover that can reach a height of 3 feet. The tiny flowers are found in raceme-like clusters at the terminal of the stems. Up to 2 dozen or more flowers, 1/8 of an inch wide, can be found in a single cluster that is barely an inch in length. It is an incomplete flower in that there are no petals. There are only sepals. The flower's colors are white to pink with some lavender. The rouge plant blooms all year. It is a favorite of several species of birds and butterflies. The beautyberry, Calicarpia americana, is a showy plant that grows 6 to 8 feet in height with a spread of 5 to 8 feet. Its multi-stem trunk swoops up from the ground in long arches and then bends back downward to the ground. Tiny showy flowers, barely 1/6 of an inch in diameter, are formed in dense clusters in the leaf axils. The colors range from pink to lavender. The flowers are sometimes hard to see as they are often hidden by the plant's broad leaves. Blooming time occurs in the spring and summer. The six-angle foldwing, Diclipteria sixangulus, got its name from the shape of its stems. A cross-section of the stem will reveal 6 angles. 6-angle is a perennial herb that reaches 3 to 4 feet in height. The 6-angle scarlet red petals are wrapped around itself, giving the appearance of a folded wing. Blooming occurs year-round. When in bloom, the scarlet red flowers formed at the tip of the stems spectacularly contrast with its dark green leaves. At the end of its life cycle, the dying plant turns to a deep purple color. coral bean. Erythrina herbaceae is a semi-herbaceous plant that grows from a perennial root system. The plant has a compound leaf which is made up of 3 glossy green deltoid leaflets 3 to 5 inches in length. All the stems are armed with a small claw that permits the coral bean to climb over other plants. The coral bean has an irregular shaped flower that are found in pyramid-like spikes at the tips of stems. 2 to 3 dozen scarlet flowers can often be found on a single spike. The flower's petals are wrapped around each other, giving the flower a tubular-like appearance. The saffron plum, Ceroxylon celesternum, is a shrub with multiple trunk-like stems. Clusters of tiny greenish yellow flowers blossom on the stems. The star-shaped flowers are less than a quarter inch in diameter with 5 petals. Celesternum would probably not win any awards at flower shows, but it has a very lovely fragrance. Celesternum is armed with sharp spikes up to 1 inch in length. The water pimpernel, Simoleus ebracteatus, is a herbaceous perennial that has 1 or more hairy, erect stems that can reach a height of 12 to 18 inches. At the tip of the stems are raceme-like clusters of tiny white to pinkish flowers. 5 petals surround a corolla-like tube with 5 small stamens. The flower diameter is slightly more than a quarter inch in diameter. And the last species in this presentation is the camphor daisy, Jacksonia phylocephala, is a perennial semi-woody shrub that can reach a height of 6 or more feet. The shrub is supported by a single main stem, from which secondary stems branch out at 90 degrees. Secondary stems then branch into several smaller stems. The stems are hairy and reddish in color. At the tip of each stem is a solitary flower head composed of a receptacle with leafy-like sepals and a compound flower. The compound flower has a ring of petal-like yellow ray florets that surround a disc made up of several tiny yellowish to orange florets. The flower itself is about 1 inch in diameter. And this completes the Hammock wildflower presentations.
Those are the wildflowers that we have today to show you, and I'm done shooting here today. So if you ever come to Fort Myers Beach, come and visit us at Matanzas Pass Preserve. We would be glad to see you.